let's talk about Little Big Planet. Okay, sorry for that YouTuber analysis essayist entry where they take a sip of a drink and then the video continues. But, I love this video game. I would say I started playing when I was... Sorry, this isn't awful. There you guys go. There you go. But I started playing... Oh my gosh. The two games that I would play religiously were Little Big Planet and Roblox. Okay? Those were my games. Those molded me. Like, I am who I am because of those games. And like a lot of Xbox games that I used to play on my 360. But like, you know what I'm trying to say here. Like, this, if you're unfamiliar what Little Big Planet is, Little Big Planet was it was like a Roblox, but instead of your home screen, you would be in your pod, and instead of scrolling through like games, you'd be scrolling through other people's earths and going into levels. And this game means so much to me, and I might just be going all over the place in this video because honestly it's just going to be a ramble. It's just going to be a ramble. And I'll also be drawing a little bit. This actually sounds nice. Oops, that doesn't, sorry. But, and instead of Roblox Studio, it would be your moon. So, you were this little sack boy thing. You were this little sack boy thing. You were this little sack boy thing, and you would live in a pod. I'll draw it out. We'll draw this out. Okay, let me draw. Okay. You can't see that. I have to change my color. 1 second. Okay. Let me redraw this. This, oh my gosh, the water bottle. This is your pod. And this is your little sack boy thing. This is what you would be. And in the middle here would be the PlayStation 3 controller, because this game released on the PlayStation. But this would be the PlayStation 3 controller. These are your arrows, joysticks. That's what would be in the pod. And here this would be your moon. That would be your moon. Let me write pod. That would be your pod. That would be your earth. It was called your earth. And basically, your earth is like your Instagram profile. And the moon was YouTube Studio. Roblox Studio, where you would build stuff. And when you finished building something here, you could click a button that was like, publish to my earth, and I'd be like, yes, this game is worthy of publishing. So I would publish things from the moon onto my Earth. And people, let me draw this last section here. This was called the community. Little Big Planet was also a story game, so it had like a whole other section where you would go on playing regular levels, but if you were to connect online, you could access the community. And my Earth was my profile, so people could go onto my Earth, look at my levels, play my levels, rate my levels, comment on my levels, and I also had a little profile up where I put a little picture of my sack boy and the way that I liked to dress, my little sack character. I was a little fashionista. And then I would post pictures of me and my friends, and people in my comments would be would talk to me, and I'd talk to them. And I would do heart for heart. So I had like hundreds of hearts on my profile. They were all like heart for hearts. Like, nobody actually enjoyed my levels enough to follow me. I was really young when I made those levels. They were not good. But it was funny. Okay. But the community, a bunch. My mom. Anyways, they had a bunch of levels that you could join, and I had so many levels that I loved, that I absolutely adored. But let me tell you first. Hey, Maristar. Hey, Maristar. Why are you talking about Little Big Planet? Why are you talking about this old game? Well, that would be because I started playing this game when I was, I don't know, like 3-4 years old, and I didn't stop playing until really the beginning of high school, or the end of my first year of high school, because then things started to get a little bit busier in my life, that I couldn't stay at home playing video games all day. You know, after COVID regulations lifted and stuff, it was time to join society. But basically, I would play this game religiously, and in 2020 or 2021, it was 2021 I think, the online servers for Little Big Planet 1 and 2 were shut down because a couple morons, I think they hacked it and like they messed everything up, and then they couldn't get the servers up and running again, so they had to shut it down permanently for Little Big Planet 1 and 2. So I couldn't play online. I couldn't play online if I wanted to. But little online servers for Little Big Planet 3 were still up and going, and that was fine. People were still playing. But then 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, they shut down the online servers, but it wasn't like they erased everything. Like, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to think about it, because all the online levels I grew up playing erased with no warning. It's not like Sony was like, hey, we're gonna do this. It was like, hey, we've done this. And with absolutely no warning, everything was erased. Like, we didn't even get to have like a goodbye party, a little countdown. Like, it hurts because, you know, people put their time and effort into their games and in their profiles, and it was all just gone. And all the games that I loved, gone. You know, never like playable. And it just sucks, because I think it's definitely, you know, I'm growing older, and more stuff is going to continue happening. Like, more of the games that I grew up with are going to die out. They're going to disappear. Like, it's already happened with my Xbox games. Like, where am I going to find Madagascar, Xbox, like that Madagascar escape game from that I used to play on my Xbox, like that's gone. That's long gone already. And that Cars game that I used to play on there too. My DS games, like, you know, life continues going and like it's moving on, but that definitely like signified the end of my childhood. I guess I could say, like, I'm growing up, but I just feel like I wanted to make this video because I know I can talk about this game for a little bit. And yeah, I used to, before I started begging for Robux, I was begging for Little Big Planet DLC, okay? That was my original craving. I loved the Little Big Planet DLC because I could dress up my character in all the sorts of ways that I wanted to. I used to, during class, I would draw on my paper, and it would be like, this is the DLC that I'm going to purchase one day, and this is how I'm going to make my Little Big Planet character dress up. And it was like this, what my Little Big Planet character looks like now. I'll try it again. It was like my Little Big Planet character now, and it would be like sad and no drip. My little sack boy had no drip. And then it would be like, once I get DLC, and it's like so cool, full of drip, this is how I would style it. And I could tell you all the ins and outs of this game, okay? I could tell you, like, what was it? A very popular shirt people used to wear back then was this DLC. It was a free downloadable DLC. It was off the DLC store, but it was free because it was Earth Day DLC, so they put it out there for Earth Day, and everybody loved it. But it was basically Earth on a shirt, but the shirt was like, it was a stylish shirt, okay? I don't know, it was oversized, I could say. It was an oversized shirt. And it kind of just laid on your sack character like that, and that was where your little sack character's legs. And people loved this shirt. People loved this shirt. People would always use it, and you could tell the difference when somebody was wearing a regular shirt compared to this shirt, okay? People would take their different colored stickers and put it over here so that the shirt would change colors, and people would have different colors, and it was amazing. This game is my freaking life, and yeah, it is my life. I breathe it, and I miss it. I really miss this game. I really miss the simpler times that it represented for me. But people needed this trip. And who had it? Yours truly. And real pros would go to the moon and create a level, and then create a robot, clone the robot to look just like your sack boy, dress up the sack boy robot, then go to settings, and then download the costume, so that, because you can make the robot really big so that you can get all the little details, and so your costume has all those little details, instead of just dressing your sack boy character as is. You can't get those little details. To get those little details, you need to make a giant robot that you would then clone to look like you, and then you would download a costume so that you would get that costume preset. That's what I'm saying. I miss this game. I have these little book stoppers that I use to hold my books, and don't ask me where I got it from. I have no idea. I think my best friend found it at a thrift store, and she knows how much I love Little Big Planet, so she bought it for me. I've mentioned her before. I could make an entire video about her too. I love her, but anytime she sees something that like reminds her of me, she'll buy it for me and then give it to me the next time she sees me, because we're long distance. Like, she'll buy things for me that's like, oh, this reminded me of you, so I'm gonna buy it for you, and then she gives it to me. Or she makes me things like this. This is her as a little monkey, and I think it's so cute. I love her, but hey, I could go on and on and on about her. That could be another video as well, but anyway. When I first entered high school, so back in my Little Big Planet days, I had a lot of online friends, and I would just hang out with them, and I never knew anybody around me who also knew Little Big Planet until my first year of high school, and that's when I met one of my best friends today, and I freaking love her because I can talk about Little Big Planet with her, and it's amazing because the first year of high school, Little Big Planet servers were still up back then, and we could connect online and stuff, and we would play Little Big Planet together, and it was amazing, and we created levels. I'll walk through the levels that we made. I need to find page. Okay. So we made levels together, and these levels were movies. So let me take you through the 2 movies that we made. So the first movie was a really pretty blonde girl sitting by the water, like a bridge or something. And then there was a little Justin Bieber right here. We had a sack boy, and then we shoved a sticker of Justin Bieber on it. It was a really pretty blonde girl. And then we had a little sack boy walk on by. I'm not good at drawing sack boys. I never have been. I don't know what it is, but I can't draw them. Sue me. Anyways, so we had a little sack boy walk on by, and we recorded him, because the sack boy is actually a robot, and so we recorded him walking this way, and then we recorded him talking, and we had microphones so we could actually, like, you can hear our voices in this, and maybe I can find the video. I know I recorded one of them, but basically the sack boy walks on by, and he goes, "Man, I wish I met a really pretty girl with blonde hair and green eyes by little Justin Bieber next to water." And then he walks, then he gets here, and then he's like, "Oh my goodness, a beautiful blonde girl with green eyes next to the little Justin Bieber by the water." And then the video ends. Were we creative geniuses? Yes. Were we comedic masterminds? I would say so, yeah. So, that was movie number 1. It just ends there. And then movie number 2. Now this was the second movie that we made. Definitely way more high tech. So, it started with 2 chairs and a table. And then, my friend's character comes on by, sits down, and she's like, "I hate sandwiches. If I came across somebody who loved sandwiches, I would surely beat them to death." And then my character comes walking on by, and my character's like, "Well, my character's like, "I love sandwiches, la da 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 da." And then her character's like, "What? You like sandwiches?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "I'm gonna beat you to death." And then it ends there. Those were the 2 movies we made. Let me know what you think of them, because I think they're hilarious. But I want to talk to you about my online friends. My online friends. I had a best friend, and we would hang out all the time in my pod and then his pod, and I miss him so much, and please, I want to run into them again, and I want to, like, talk to him again. Honestly, I never found out how old he was. He never knew how old I was. We were just tight. We were tight like that. We were best friends. But we didn't know each other's ages. We didn't know anything about our actual personal, real life lives. We would just play games together, and that was it. Like, that's the life of a child, okay? Those were simple times. We didn't care. We just wanted to hang out with each other. And my best friend's name, I don't know how I didn't run away the moment that, like, I read his username, but basically, his username was "I will kill you tonight," but he was the sweetest person ever. He's literally my best friend. We would go, so there are dating levels in Little Big Planet where you would go on like little dates, but we would go on dates all the time, but it was like friendship dates. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, we would check out the levels, we would eat at the little dinner table, we'd be like la 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 la, and then we'd leave, and you know, that's whatever. And there was this one game that we played a lot, and I don't know, I just miss I Will Kill You Tonight. I Will Kill You Tonight. If you're watching this, please, please, please let me know, please. The world is big, but I have a feeling we won't meet again. But I'm also kind of scared of meeting him again, because, you know, what if he's like a completely different person? I don't know. It's nice. Maybe it's nice to just keep a version of them in my head, because maybe it's better than meeting them again and then they're like, shit, I'm not a good person. But honestly, I don't care. Actually, I will kill you tonight. Please, please, if you're watching this, I'm here. Okay. So, that was my online life. That was my personal life, talking about my friend and everything. And I'm gonna talk to you about my favorite games. I think that's the last thing I should really mention. But, like, yeah, I think that's the last thing I'll mention. Okay. There was... I love Little Big Planet games. Okay. There was... I will tell you about 3 of my favorite games. My all-time favorite would have to be Killer Whale, or Survive the Killer Whale. I think it was called Survive the Killer Whale, where basically you started on a ship. It was like a really big ship. Like a tank of a ship, man. It was crazy. And the ship had a little helicopter on it. And basically, that's the helicopter. Basically, you were in the water, and you were trying to get to this island of safety here. Okay, this is the island of safety that has a secret underground base and water bunker, and also there's a secret water entrance to get to the island, but you can also land on a helicopter pad with the helicopter. And you just had to get to the island, to the base, and then you'd survive. But you're probably like, okay, yeah, whatever. You're on a ship. You need to get to the island. Okay. Listen, I think there were 2 of them, but there were 2 giant freaking whales. Okay, you have no idea. And these guys, they were evil. And that's their stomach. That's the stomach. But there were 2 of them. And they were so mean. And you had to escape them. If you died too many times, you'd lose the level. But you'd spawn here. And if you're quick enough, you can get on the helicopter and fly over there. Yeah. So maybe it was a little bit easy. Who cares? But if you really wanted to have some thrill in it, if you really want to risk your life a little, you would wait there just a little bit, because it doesn't take long for the whale to come in, because the very first thing that happens is that the whale attacks you, and then the ship just falls apart, it just crumbles, and then you would have to take like oxygen tanks and stuff like that, and then you'd have to swim to the underground water base, and then you'd live. That was one of my favorite games. I loved that game so much. This was a great icebreaker game. But, yeah. so this was called Angry Bird Bomb Survival, I think. And you would spawn right here. Oh, I made my head too big. Okay, scratch that. This is you, okay? Your little sack thing. And then falling from the sky are all the Angry Birds. That's Chuck, because he's trying to kill. Triangle. And this is the bomb. That doesn't look good. Okay, whatever. Basically, the Angry Birds would come on down, and they'd blow up an area of the field, like of the thing, and basically you were trying not to get blown up into bits, but you were trying to make it all the way to the bottom, because at the bottom is where you would win the level. And that's what would happen. You'd just go down to the bottom. And so yeah, the birds would come down, they'd explode. There were also like little mines within, so that if the bird got close to the mine, it would be an even bigger explosion. Total catastrophe. Okay, next game. Maybe I'll split this in half because I don't want to waste all the pages in my sketchbook, if I'm being honest with you. But, okay. Third game. This was pretty straightforward. This was called, Explode Justin Bieber, or like Kill Justin Bieber. I don't know. Basically, this would be you. And this would be Justin Bieber. And basically, you would either like step on a little explosive and he'd blow up, or you'd send like a missile and he'd blow up. There were many different ways to get this guy. Okay, I have another game actually I want to show you. 2 other games that I want to show you. 2 extra. But there was another one that I loved to play. It was called Jeff the Killer. There was this one creator who I loved. He made my favorite games from, like, my favorite levels that he made were Jeff the Killer, Escape the Killer Chicken, or something like that. And then, like, I loved his horror games. And then he made Lavender Town. For some reason, I loved playing Lavender Town, even though it gave me such creepy vibes, but whatever. So, Jeff the Killer, you start in a house. So this is the house. And this is, like, you know, the outdoor light or whatever. And then you would walk, and Jeff the Killer would be there. There's his smile. What a beautiful boy. But that would be Jeff the Killer. Where's his knife? That's Jeff the Killer. Watch out. But he would basically get you, but the objective of the game was to... Okay, ignore this line. The objective of the game was to make it all the way to the end without getting killed by Jeff the Killer, pretty much. And then the Escape the Killer Chicken, same concept, but with a chicken. You would, this is the chicken restaurant. This is a fence. These are obstacles along the way, and then this is the finish line. This is the finish line. Finish line, obstacles, fence, chicken restaurant, the city, basically. And this is where you would start. That's where you would start. And then you'd make your way here through the chicken restaurant. You'd encounter the chicken first here. And this chicken would chase you. This chicken has a chainsaw, okay? And this chicken is gonna freaking get you. But the chicken had a chainsaw. And you would be running. Avoid the chicken, escape the chicken, bounce over to this side, over the fence, and then keep running. And the chicken would keep reappearing here, and you'd have to, like, it was like, you just had to keep running. And then you'd make it to the end of the level, And that was how you won. And let me tell you this other game. It was called, I loved this one too. It was called Escape Shrek, or or get out of my swamp, something like that. Same concept. Okay, but I mean, that's how a level worked. You entered and you just wanted to get to the end. You know, you wanted to do that. I love the obstacle courses, and there was also other levels where you would fight people. There was an Assassin's Creed level. I actually really miss Little Big Planet now that I think about it. Okay, so this was called Get Out of My Swamp or Shrek or whatever. Anyways, it had something to do with Shrek. Let me draw this level for you. Let me get the map. I'm trying to remember. Okay, this is Shrek's house. This is where you start. This is a bridge. And then, so basically you start and you're walking, and then the text on the screen says, Shrek is love. Shrek is life. And then you pass this bridge, and then Shrek appears, and he's gonna freaking get you. And so you gotta be like, ah, and you run across back the bridge, and then he despawns, and then you're like, oh, I'm a little scared, and then you continue going until you get to Shrek's house. And when you're in Shrek's house, Shrek appears again, and there's like this heartbeat sound every time you approach. By the way, I'm remembering all of this from my memory from like 4 years ago at this point, or 3 years ago, because that's how much I loved this game. Anyways, so once you entered his house, he would be there again, and then it was like you had to hide in his onion drawer. I don't know what it was, but you had to hide basically. And then he entered, and then you were like, ooh, and then basically you ran, he'd appear again, you'd run, and then you make it to the end of the level. But yeah, those were some of my favorite Little Big Planet games. I'm going to have to quickly end this video though, because it looks like my phone is running out of storage. So, thanks for staying with me. Good night. And if any of you know I will kill you tonight, please let me know, because I'm low-key looking to reconnect. Goodbye. Good night. Sleep well.